Yo, what is going on? How are we all doing? If you're watching this video, how are you guys doing?
David?
Yeah, so we know how this goes. Okay.
I guys, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah?
That's
Oh my
fantastic.
god.
Gross.
Growth.
Oh,
Growth.
I thought she wants to see you fail, bro.
No,
I
never.
don't want to see you in it.
Come on.
How are
But
you,
yeah.
Stacey?
I'm doing right. I'm taking it day by day.
Of course.
I'm coping.
We love it.
I'm adulting.
You're amazing.
Yeah, that's me. What about you, Philip?
I can't even regret it. I need more wet.
Yeah, so if you heard that in your ears, that's probably very annoying. But yeah, I'm alright. I'm cool. A lot of work, bro. People are leaving my workplace, and they're trying to make us absorb their roles for now. And it's like, because we work in team. Like for example, today I had an edit that I was meant to do today. Producer didn't give me notes, so I was waiting because he was working on another show. So I was waiting for these notes, even though I knew my edit had to go live in the UK today and also in South Africa. And I was just like, bruv, I haven't got these notes. So I was like, alright, cool, whatever, I'll just do it myself. And as I'm sitting there, because the guy who basically usually takes our edits and puts them on a TV schedule, he's gone now. So I'm just like, I just see email, this is how the editors are meant to do it now. This is how you're meant to get your work out there. I'm like, bruv, you like, because I think the most annoying thing is the fact that they just want us to take other people's responsibilities without reducing our own, and there's just bare work to do.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's jarring. Like I was up till like 2 a.m. last night editing some other stuff because there's deadlines. Like there's real deadlines. There's TV. You can't just like not do stuff. So yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I don't mind taking on like more responsibility. Just pay me. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100.
But I'll have to have that conversation
Run
with them
that.
soon. But I'm only there until the 13th of December. Then I'm out for 5 weeks because what I did is that I put not all of my, I use annual leave during the year, but I put the rest of my annual leave together, which is like 2 weeks. Then a week off for Christmas, and then 2 weeks paternity leave. I'm gone. Deuces. You don't have to
Love that.
figure that out because I'm gone.
I'm
But
taking care of my son.
We love it. We love it.
Besides that, I think I'm cool. Yeah, I think I'm cool. The aftermath of the screening, which is interesting because we haven't recorded an episode in like 2 weeks or so. But during this episode and the previous one, we had a screening, the first screening for HSJ, which was fantastic. So dealing with the aftermath of that. So well done to the team.
Well done. It's really great. It was, blew me away, mate.
But yeah, since we haven't introduced ourselves, my name is Phil.
I'm Stacey.
And it is. I have it. I don't feel it. It wasn't here.
It's
You
not-
guys felt it, right? It wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
it's not a pleasure
Do you
being there.
want, do you want us to help you build up the energy for
Oh,
it?
Please do,
Jeez.
yeah. Whatever you can do to get me
How do we
there.
do
Oh
this? How
my
do we do this?
gosh.
How do we do this?
I don't think Stacey was deep for what was going on.
I think I was.
I caught it straight away,
I-
yeah.
I-
And I was
I
like,
was-
no
I
way
wasn't-
David's gonna do
I
this.
wasn't-
And then he
listen,
did it. And I'm
listen.
just like,
I
what?
didn't mean, like I said, I was like, oh, damn it.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't believe
Alright.
you did that. I don't think Stacey, you should still
I
did it.
It
I
is-
still
it
don't.
is-
I
it is
thought
your
me and
man.
Phil were
That's
gonna like.
fine.
It
That's
is
fine,
your
that's fine.
man, your boy, Mr. Data GDR. It is a pleasure to be in your ears. All
job,
right,
good
all
job.
right. Let's cut out that little bit.
like
No,
I
let's
wanna
keep this- let's keep this in, let's
You
keep
know,
this in.
sometimes like it's like an
So
out of body
sorry.
experience. It's like, what are you doing, David?
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
but I'm gonna imagine at the same time, it's like I kind of want to see where this goes.
Oh, Phil.
Anyway, Sha. Yeah. So this is the part of the show where we play a little game, and the rules of this game is that one of us has to sing the words, make it and make sense to the melody of an existing song, not theme tune. Or did we say we could do theme
No,
tune?
it's
now?
a song, so it can be any song. Don't do this to me again, bruv.
Okay, that's not how songs work, David. But
How does a song work, Phil? Explain it for me.
well, theme tune is not a song.
A theme tune isn't a song.
Nah.
A theme tune isn't a song. Okay. All right.
But yeah, if you think
Alright.
it is, hit us up because we have this dispute.
A theme tune. Okay.
Is a jingle a song, David, or is it a jingle?
What is a song?
What
You
is
know,
a
let's
song,
not,
David?
Let's not do this.
What
Let's
is a
not do-
song, David?
Let's not do this, Phil. Let's not do this.
At least you guys can see that I'm just sitting here, just like, what is
Not
this?
taking a side.
Stacey's out of frame. We framed her out.
No, he's rude in it.
We
He's
could never do
rude
that.
in
We
it.
could never do that.
He's rude in
But
it.
yeah, Stacey, you got a song for us? You gonna
I
sing
got
it?
a little some.
Yeah,
little
you gotta sing a song with the words
Before,
"make
yeah.
it" and "make sense." We gotta guess it.
Sorry to interrupt you, Phil. Like, it's one thing to hear me do like my silly things, like in the pod, and it's another thing to see me, like, be silly, like, and my facial movements. And
How was
stuff.
that for you? I'm guessing you watched the last one back and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Literally, I was like, I'm an animation. Like,
Wow.
That's good.
all I do is like I'm not even a serious
Lively.
human being. Like,
Oh.
no, but it's because genuinely, sidetracking real quick, guys. Genuinely, like, my favorite characters in animations are like the silly ones. Like, you know, you have. Okay, so have you guys watched Home?
No.
No, you haven't watched. Okay, so Big Mouth.
Yes.
I've seen
Big Mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Bubble bath.
yes.
That's
See,
the one. Yeah. Yeah.
so like, do you know the character Lola?
Mm-hmm.
Love her. Like, I just love her. I just love her antics. I love her voice. I just love that she's got a deep voice in a woman's body and she's just mad. Like,
Also, a woman playing a child's role, right? They're all adults voicing
No,
these characters.
by all means, but I feel like it must be a man playing her because why is the voice so deep?
Some women have deep. Darren has a deep voice, don't you think?
Not really.
No. Try to remember her voice in your head right now. She has a deeper voice, like than most.
But
women.
not like, okay, probably.
For a woman, her register's quite low.
But I've heard lower. I've heard
Great
lower.
tenor.
Fair.
But-
She sings tenor sometimes.
She's a great tenor. Yeah. She was my tenor leader in university.
What? Wait, what? You guys went to the same uni?
Yeah.
Oh. So you were saying about animated characters,
What?
voice acting?
Voice acting? No. Do you know what? I was just saying, yeah, I like animated characters. And then when I was watching it back, I was like, Stacey, you're so animated. You don't remember her.
So you could do voice acting.
Or I'm just animated.
But
What?
you
You
said it in a way that's like you don't like that.
No, it's awkward to watch sometimes, but also it makes me like feel like I get it. Like I get myself. And
Assuming you didn't understand yourself before.
I did, but I got it more.
I see. You don't watch yourself back much, do you?
No.
Why?
It's
That's
awkward.
As an actor, what's that like for you?
Like, I am self-critical to the silly degree. Like, if I don't listen well in a scene, I'm annoyed. And then someone will ask me, how was it? And then I'm like, you don't want to know. Because every time someone asks me, how was it? It's never just like, yeah, it was actually really good. And this is what I'm like, I could have done better because I recognized like I didn't do this and the line was actually this and I didn't say it. And in not saying it, I actually like affected
Yeah.
the other actor that I was
Yeah.
with. And yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but no one wants to hear that stuff, innit?
No one
it's so
wants to hear
jarring,
it.
right? Sometimes you want to actually just be really real about your performance, and then people just want to hear, yeah, it was fun, it was good, I had so much fun, it was interesting.
But a lot of the times people be like, oh, you're not seeing what I saw. I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Genuinely
I
not.
thought that was the whole point of the conversation. That's how the
Literally.
dynamic started.
Like, no, for real.
But
yeah.
yeah, Stacey, you got a song?
I got a song. Sorry, guys. So we back on track. What is my song? Okay. How do I start it? Make
Thames.
it sense. I've done this
It's
before.
Thames.
So
It's
like,
Thames.
make it sense. Make it.
Alicia Keys.
Make. Yes.
If I ain't got you.
Yes.
What?
Did you not
If
get
I
that?
didn't get that song, that wasn't the song.
Did you not get that? What did you? Where was your head going?
I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. I was enjoying her lovely voice. I was.
But
But I
did
just
you-
didn't know the song.
You were not close at all.
Make it,
I thought she did
make
it was quite obvious.
Okay, now.
No,
Make it, make. Wait, do it again.
make it.
Okay, no, you weren't doing that before,
Yeah,
though.
I didn't hear that.
That
bit. I
was
only
a,
heard
that
the
was a.
start, yeah.
That,
But
see,
I was
that
talking over you
That
at the
was
beginning,
layers
so I
to what
probably
you
didn't
just
hear
did. But before, it was very broken up. It was like,
Is it right?
this could be any song right now.
No, do you know what was burning? I don't like you. Do you know what was burning, David? I actually thought you were gonna get it. Like Phil was like a
no.
I thought Phil wasn't
Oh,
even
no.
listening to me.
I let you down.
No, your hand was like. I
Oh,
said
good.
he.
I mean, that's the thing, because right at the beginning, I wasn't like I wasn't listening. It was only halfway through that I was like, oh, I see what she's doing there. It was glaringly obvious. No?
I think you put me off when you kept saying Thames. I'm gonna blame you and not take
Phil's fault.
accountability for my actions.
Sorry, fair enough. because why take accountability, right?
Exactly. What is that even?
Fair enough. Well, if you guys got it, if you think Stacey did a great job, comment below. If you think she did yeah, we have that now.
You do that now.
He's doing a bit much.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah, we can actually put our singing techniques out for critique now because people could actually say that's not what he was doing. Nah, because if you look at 2 minutes 15 when his voice went up, that means he wasn't. But
It was the crescendo.
yeah, he didn't crescendo.
He ain't crescendo,
No, he
right.
didn't crescendo. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So we are 3 episodes into the final, the ultimate, the finale of Insecure. We are 3 episodes in. Stacey just rolled her eyes with such vigor and animosity that makes me feel like I should stop talking, allow her to speak and rant. Go on.
No, I wasn't even gonna rant. Yeah, I'm just like.
Oh, she rolled her eyes in a happy way.
I was like,
Can you do
thank you for the show.
Big up.
Honestly,
Go to Alice.
they are great. They are great. And you know what confuses me? Yeah, it's like 20 something minutes.
No, like 30.
Is it 30?
Yeah.
It's like on the cusp, like the last one was like 27, 28, you know.
Basically,
what I mean?
they're always guaranteed to nowadays be above 25 for sure. But they haven't had like a 20 to 25 minute episode since like season 1, I don't think.
Yeah.
Ever since like streaming's been a thing for a very long time. But ever since like maybe season 3 or something like that, it's just been, like 30 minute stories. That's how it is on like Atlanta now. Early seasons of Atlanta were like 20 something minutes. Now it's just they just do what they want, which is fantastic.
Well, yeah, just like I always get like astounded that they can say so much in so little time. I'm just like, well done, guys, because I enjoyed this episode particularly more.
Episode three
was phenomenal.
Like and when David said it, David was in the group chat. I was like,
What did David say in the group chat?
He was like, what did you say?
I said this episode going stupid crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, it's gonna be something like probably romance or comedy, like some.
Why would you say that?
Because that's you. That's
What the
David.
hell?
David
That
likes
was a
to say,
personal
Listen,
attack.
guys, I was like,
Rom-com
That was a
nonsense.
personal attack.
I was like,
Ugh.
here we go. And then I watched it, and it was giving. Like,
It was a car crash. It was a beautiful car crash.
oh.
Beautiful car.
And do you know what? I watched it twice, yeah, and I was like, I'm not on anyone's side. I was like,
So tell me about that. So what was that the first time you watched it versus the second time?
the first time I watched it, for some strange reason, I was on like, so I've never been.
I thought you were gonna say drugs.
I've never been, sorry, just to cut that out because I tend to do this a lot. I've never been someone who's like disliked Condola. Like, I've never disliked her.
Has anyone disliked Condola?
Oh my
they
days.
bro on Twitter they call her condolences.
They don't like her.
They
It's like
hate
coronavirus. You know, like
Yeah.
the different names that people had for coronavirus. That's what they were calling her.
yeah.
Like,
Oh wow.
they
Yeah.
really
Wow.
dislike her. And to
Okay.
be fair, some of my friends also really dislike her.
For real?
Really dislike her. And I'm like, but she's just living her life. She didn't even judge anything. She was like,
No, I can
she was
see-
the
I
one
can
that was
see
the one
why.
that was- no, but she was the one that was even like hurt. Like,
Yeah. This is what sorry to cut you off, but this is what I particularly like about Insecure is the fact that like they do create such polarizing characters. But I personally, because when Condola was out, I was on Twitter at the time. I'm not on Twitter at the moment, but like when Condola came into the stories, I didn't see that much. But I saw mixed reviews on all the other characters, but not really Condola. I think people just didn't care from what maybe the tweets I was seeing or whatever. But yeah, that's what I think is commendable about the show is the fact that like they create such polarizing characters and also situations and dynamics between people. Like I saw this episode 3. So just if you haven't seen it, it's not really a spoiler, but it explores Lawrence and Condola and how they're gonna co-parent, right? So I saw the episode and I'm like, I had a feeling it was just gonna completely split people apart. And then, because I can kind of tell that because I don't know if you guys caught this, but what's Amanda Seals' character's husband?
Tiffany. Oh,
Tiffany. What's her husband's name again?
I don't know.
Guy with the glasses.
The guy with the glasses. Did you notice at the birthday party they it's like they kept trying to make it seem like I know deadbeat dads exist. I'm trying to not be that because that would have been the default had he not said that, which is, I think, is it's interesting that they probably feel like they have to say that. But I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what you have to say because it ultimately is the default with that. So basically, it's like if we're gonna make, because Lawrence isn't blameless, Condola isn't blameless. If we're gonna give Lawrence blame, what does that look like? And it can't automatically just look like the deadbeat dad because that's too easy. It's too simple. If they did that, I would have just been like, nah, you weren't really trying here, right? I don't know if I didn't get the impression of a deadbeat dad. Did you guys get the impression
Absolutely
of a
not.
no?
Bro, he was trying. Like, he had the one moment where, like, obviously he'd finished working late. He was looking at his suitcase and then he had to send that Ash ain't gonna make it text. And it's like, in that moment, my immediate reaction was, oh, he traveling, he going down that path. But then I was like, brother, that's a long flight. And he's legitimately tired.
San Francisco to LA, that's great.
That's like, you can fully empathize with him in that moment, but also it's like, but who gonna take care of the kid? You know, so they did really well to, like, as you're saying, you can't just look at Lawrence and be like, you should have just got on that flight, because it's not that easy.
I was so hoping I didn't see anything like that or hear anything like that. Like, what do you mean just be there, be a dad? What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think this is okay. Ultimately, I see this episode as a cautionary tale.
Someone called it a contraception episode.
Oh, say it again.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I believe that.
I wouldn't say that, but I see it as a cautionary tale of why committed relationships, i.e. marriage or whatever you want to call it, or whatever you want to do, they're so important to raising children, because if not, the only person that loses is the child. Like, they had a full-on argument while holding the child in the kitchen, and I was thinking, my gosh,
scary.
Oh my god! Because the thing is, I've seen that in
child.
real life. Do you know what I mean? So I know what that turns into. I know what that can turn into for the child as well. But I'm just like, bruv, like, if anyone's out here taking sides, they're missing the point, in my opinion. But sorry, Stacey.
No, like, yeah, just the whole episode was just like sad. Like, I was genuinely just like I want to watch it like a third time because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, all the characters as well, like Kiki Palmer's character as the sis, I loved it. Oh my days. One thing that I really loved as well is when the mum was like saying hello to Lawrence. I could see her mum decide to be positive. Like, I could see the decision the woman made was like, hi, like, I'm gonna be positive in this moment. And even the first, so there's gonna be bare spoilers from me personally. I'm really sorry.
Fair enough. Let's get into this. Okay, if you haven't watched the episode, please go and watch the episode.
Spoiler warning: episode 3 of Insecure and probably episode 1 and 2 if you haven't watched those either.
Yeah,
they're unrelated. Let's be real.
I mean,
honestly,
if she talks about episode 3, she's obviously not talking about episode 1 and 2. Like,
but just the fact that, shut up, Phil.
No, but for real, like, just a little, it was very nuanced. There was like just little moments that I was like, I felt it. And no, there was also really like great humor moments.
Oh yeah.
Like, and there was like awkward humor moments as well. But I got it, man. I got it. And yeah, it seems hard raising a kid when you're not together and you don't like each other. It shows. Like,
the thing is, I never got the impression that they don't like each other. Do you know what I mean? Like,
she doesn't
especially
like him.
No, not like romantically, like as in a detest. I never get the impression that there's a detest for each other. I get the impression that there's a paradigm that them guys agreed to. Not talking about the kid. I'm talking about when he said to her in a previous season, just text me with the updates, basically. Just let me know what's going on. And then that suddenly became a problem for him, and she's like, bruv, you told me to just text you with the updates. I don't know what you're on about. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously that can grow into a form of dislike. But I never get the impression that, and I think this is the interesting thing about such paradigms is that, like, it's not really the person that the person is, that the individual would be annoyed at. It's usually the situation, and then that can come out at the person, if that makes sense.
Condola.
So personally, I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you got the impression, but I never get the impression that Condola hates him or doesn't like him. I get the impression that the circumstance that they're in, he's just a recipient of that. So it's like, well, take Lawrence out and put someone else with a different personality. It's the situation. It's not really the person.
No, I hear that because if you do, but also I feel like the way, even like when you said when he was like, update me.
That was his L.
That
was his L.
Like,
you shouldn't have done that.
I feel like it was adding to the dislike of him, especially when she was going through such like a vulnerable moment, but also like this is my first kid as well, and like okay, like, and he said something that really, he was like, you made the decision,
You blew my life up.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
and then I was like, you're throwing this in her face.
But this is the interesting
Asking to be
thing.
involved.
Sorry, Carol. This is the interesting thing. Abortion laws are different in different states. So in some states, men have no say whatsoever whether the child comes into the world or not. Do you see what I'm saying? So in some states, I don't know if it's specifically LA, but in some states, like I said, a guy will have no bearing on what happens after the conception of the child. So saying you blew my life up could be actually true. It just being a mean thing to say, if that makes sense.
No, but by all means, but also you didn't have to stay.
No, he didn't.
And
But that doesn't make what he's saying like less true.
No, but the way he was saying it was like an attack on her.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
He was
saying
using it
is like, yeah.
as like and I was just like, bro, what do you want here? Like, what's the goal? Because I feel like I knew what his goal was. I wasn't quite sure like what her goal was. At first, I could understand like what she wanted, and then as the episode was going on, I was like, him to even, but I know she does want, like, I couldn't get it. She just got into moments because she was even defending him at some times, and I was like,
yeah, that's the nuance bit. This is why I don't think she doesn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to defend him to Keke Palmer's to her sister. Do you know what I mean?
There was a little glimmer in her eye when he said that he wanted to be there for the next thing, and I think that was a very important moment to show.
Ooh.
but I think you can, I feel like liking someone and disliking, I feel like especially when you've been intimate with them and romantic with them, firstly there's a way that you want to also like defend your choices. So it's like, I'm not a complete idiot, like I wouldn't pick someone who's like a complete dummy. But also like I feel like there's still always going to be something there to a degree for, well, I don't know actually always, but for her maybe there is like a little bit of like, it would be nice, like, because they didn't seem like the relationship was complete, like, toxic. It didn't seem like it was a horrid relationship.
It was a horrid situation.
Yeah, but like you're saying, just conflicting, man.
This is the thing, like, with Condola's situation, and this is what a lot of mothers go through, period. So this is why, like, being in a committed relationship or marriage is the best idea to raise a child, especially the way the society is set up, because the reality is, Lawrence has to provide. He has to work to provide, which means working means he may not be there when he says he wants to, like the situation that we saw. But then also on Condola's part, I've heard this situation with mothers quite often, whether they're in marriage or not, is when they say that they're willing to let someone look after the child so they can have time apart or whatever. But then when it actually comes down to it, they're like, I don't really want to let my child go in there right now. And it's contradictory. But it's like, I get it. I don't blame a mother if she goes, oh yeah, I want you to look after my child today. Tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you're like, no, actually, I don't. Like, I get it, because things aren't working in their mind as logically as other people would maybe want them to if we're adhering to a schedule. Because the reality is, obviously, I'm not a mother, but the reality is, when someone is a mother, what they're saying and how they're feeling sometimes are just completely different. So if you have a scenario where a dad says, oh, I'll take the child, oh yeah, I'll take the child, and he actually comes to take the child, and you actually no, I don't want you to take the child. It sounds mad, but man, them kind of just have to take, I don't think they have to take that L, but I feel like if you make this an issue, be prepared for this to be an issue. Like, you know when he says, I'm gonna get my child no matter way, and obviously he retracted it. Bro, it has to, if you want it to be an issue, it has to go in that direction, and that's the sad thing about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially in this country, man, a lot of man them, and this is what I kind of didn't want to share, but I'll share it because I'm in the flow. But there's a lot of dads who don't even bother fighting for custody, or don't even bother trying all this stuff because they just know it's an L. Straight up, they have to damn near prove that the mother is crazy before they can get their child or even get a fair look in paternity courts. So when Lawrence was doing his thing, I'm just like, I hear it, but yeah, the mother's probably not the one you want to piss off right now. Do you know what I mean? But I get why Condola's doing what she was doing. Like, she says, oh yeah, come take the child. He came, like, no, I want you to take the child.
What do you guys think of the episode? What was your take?
Absolutely loved it.
What do you love?
I just, I'm very much in a season of like, my favorite content right now is stuff that shows the complexity of human relationships, but still does enough to affirm their beauty. And that's what Insecure is for me.
That's a tweet.
Honestly.
Come on, man. But and like that's what this episode was like. It was beautiful seeing just how badly Lawrence wanted to be involved, and it was beautiful seeing Condola have that glimmer of hope when he said he wanted to get involved, and it was beautiful seeing the apology at the end, despite everything that happened. The moment on the plane, the moment where Condola was like, "I don't trust you," like all of that did enough for the conclusion at the end to be like, "Rah, they're just really trying here," and that's so real. It's so refreshing, and I just love it. I hope it works out, and it just left me really rooting for them. And I feel like, having that feeling after watching something, it's positive vibes, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how about you, Philip, mate?
I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was written beautifully. I think I look at all these episodes in context of the larger season. And right now, I just don't understand where Insecure is supposed to be going right now. I you guys are, flip's sake. I'm just like, bruv, what are we doing here? Like, stop laughing, Dave.
I'm so much. You're so destructive, bro. I love it.
Because I can look at that as a short film and be like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, I've seen Lawrence since season 1. Is this what, like, because it looked so close booky. Like, it looked conclusive. I'm like, is this where we're leaving Lawrence, bruv? I've been Lawrence Hive since season 1. Is this where we're leaving him? Is this... He had more than this. His story was more than this. And it seemed like his story's just been reduced. That's how I see it. But, I'm just like, this whole season, I'm just like... 3 episodes in, maybe out of 10 or something like that. I'm just like... I don't understand what was supposed to be happening. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'm going to be surprised. Because because when you know it's your final season... You tend to close books on chapters, and do you know what I mean? This is different from getting cancelled. Like when you're cancelled, that's open ended. But like when you know it's the final season, you'll go, oh, okay. I wonder how they're gonna resolve this storyline and that storyline. And I'm just like, I don't understand what is going on. I don't like the fact that I don't understand it. But Stacey,
that's kind of beautiful. I like that. I don't know.
Beautiful. She said my confusion is beautiful.
I like not knowing sometimes because I can't predict stuff, and then there's excitement and like seeing and like, oh, that's what you went with. Okay, fair enough. Like, do you? But just as a whole, the episode was really lovely. I loved it. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it. Especially because David said he liked it. I'm joking.
She was expecting it to be bad because I liked it. Stacey, rate me, please.
I do.
Rate me, please.
I do. But no, I was just joking, guys. But as a whole, like, I think I'm also like you, David. Like, I love when things aren't straightforward, and you can see the characters struggle. Like, the way they just filmed everything, and it was so artistic, and they just tried to, and they succeeded. I was gonna say they tried, like, but they succeeded. Like, it was beautifully shot. I loved so many things in there, the conversations that were had, even the little conversations, even when Lawrence was talking to Kelly, and Lawrence was like, is everyone here? And Kelly's like, everyone is where they need to be. Like,
everyone I associate with is thriving.
Yeah, they're thriving.
In abundance.
Yeah. Talk about it. I was like, Kelly, baby. Like, no, I'm really, really enjoying Insecure. Well, what did you guys think of like the previous episodes, or can we talk about that?
I kind of already mentioned it.
Someone tweeted that the previous episodes were boring. I thoroughly enjoyed them anyway. And
but David, was there going to be ever a circumstance where you're not going to enjoy it?
No, it wasn't, because I love everything.
No, I've had to have conversations about it with someone else before. I've been like, actually, it's actually really like this was my favorite one so far. Yeah. Favorite episode so far.
Oh, I thought you meant season.
No.
Damn.
Favorite episode so far. But yeah,
because the first two were what, boring?
No, they weren't boring. They were just, getting into the flow. But like the first one was really great, and the second one was actually. Do you know what? The second one, it like gave. I felt Molly, man, and it was like for her. I felt it. Like I felt her in that second
Someone
one.
actually likes Molly.
I
love
like
Molly.
Molly. I ain't got no issue with
I
her.
found myself in bare TV Issa conversations last season. Bro.
Oh gosh.
I was like, dang.
Really?
I ain't trying to back it that hard. People feel I just back it because we're both like Nigerian.
Nah, I really do enjoy Molly as a character, and it's the fact that she's so flawed sometimes, but we all are. It's like the clear flaws that we have, we don't notice ourselves and we don't see it. And it's the moment when Molly sat down and she was like, I think, what is it? Was it a conversation she was having, or
And she flashed back to her other.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, sis, you didn't see it then? You didn't see all of that then? Now you see it? Okay.
Sometimes it takes 5 seasons. No, but this is my thing, though.
Honestly.
What's going on with Molly's character? That's what I want to be happening with the whole series. Like, you know how the end of season 4 kind of set up that like Lawrence and Issa were gonna try again, and then at the start of season 5 they just deaded
I
it.
was
Nope.
so happy.
Right?
I was so happy.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, I think it would have been so interesting to see Lawrence and Issa as they've changed, not necessarily as a couple, but at least for a couple episodes. Do you get what I'm saying?
I didn't want to see it.
Because Issa's different from season 1. Lawrence is different from season 1. That would have been interesting to see. We didn't see much of that. We saw a conversation where everyone's like, oh my God, they're walking through clouds. And it's like, it's amazing. And then he stood in front of a red wall and she stood in front of a blue
Season
one.
4, episode 8.
Like that.
At the 22nd minute.
Man did
favourite
an
episode, bruv.
Easter egg video, bro.
Yeah, man.
Do you know how many messages I got? I feel you're gonna love this episode. I'm like, Nick. But yeah, I think I would have been interesting, man, to see the growth.
I hear that.
That's a Kelly reference.
Yeah.
I see the growth in all the characters, but I mean, I guess we ain't gonna see it. We never know.
I hear that.
Still got time.
I had a conversation with a friend yesterday actually, and I was like, I love the girls that don't need closure as much as the girls that do need closure. I'm such a closure person. Like, I always want to talk things through and give people the benefit of the doubt and be like,
Stacey does an exit interview for her
Oh,
boyfriends, bro.
gosh.
So how do you think that went?
no, legit.
Do you think you were your best self?
Literally, I be asking questions. I'm not even gonna get into
Do you know how long that will be,
That
bro?
was a joke and it was true, bro. That's what
Imagine
Bro.
someone breaks up with you and then they send you like a
Questionnaire.
questionnaire. And then like it's on one of them survey monkey things.
It's good for you to know these things because it's actually good questions that you need to reflect on before you enter your next relationship.
Imagine, bro.
Because
But
legit,
from you though?
from
Leave me
no,
alone,
I do,
bruh.
I do it so kindly. Like, I'm just like,
Oh, God.
so we start like, I'm not even gonna get into it.
Oh
never
my
mind.
god.
So we start like
I really want to hear this, but yeah, maybe some other time.
But I had a conversation with a friend, and I was just like, I love girls that need closure, girls that don't need. And no, I love more the girls that don't need closure because I'm not that type of girl. You know, I'd love to tap into that girl, and the girl that can just be like, we're done, and walk away from it. She could just be like, hey, yeah, I can't do this anymore because you know.
Do you
and
think
I
the
know.
girls that needed closure felt the relationship more, or do you
No.
think? Okay,
I feel like it's just an individual experience. Like,
I don't understand what that means. That just
Like-
sounds very hippie.
like each to their own. Whoever, like, if I felt it more, it's an individual. I can't.
Here's a quotation. I want to see if you agree. It's from Hills Off, an episode of Hills Off. Big up them, man. Big up Josh. Mercedes Benson says she feels like closure is actually quite selfish. What do you think about that, Stacey? Stacey's thinking.
I'm thinking. Oh my
Thinking
god.
face.
Honestly, closure is selfish. Closure is selfish. Closure is selfish. I'm gonna
Try
have to
to
get
like
back to you
remove
on
all
that.
stigma and connotations of the word. Just see it for what it is. Objectively.
Okay.
You think so?
Depends if it's one-sided.
As in, if you're the only person that goes looking for closure, you
Yeah.
don't accept the I
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah. If
Okay.
the other person's happy to, always looking for closure as well, is happy to,
Yeah.
have the conversation,
Yeah.
then cool. If it's just you looking for it, then of course, yeah, because I'm
fair
looking for it.
That's fair enough. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So Insecure. This thing. I don't even know what. Actually, and did I see the preview for the next episode? Oh yeah, we're back with Issa and then I think I saw them at the beach. Do you guys watch previews?
No.
Don't know.
No,
I
and
should.
promos.
Oh,
You should. You should.
I should.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, dang. All right. Cool. Well, guys. So there's something I want to talk about.
What's that?
So I know David's one, but
Oh,
Stacey, would you say? I think I know. If I'm wrong,
Okay.
Actually,
You
I would.
know.
I'd probably like
You
to be
probably
wrong.
know.
I would give you
Like,
an
even if
opportunity
I
to
say you're wrong, you're probably right.
learn. Stacey, could you think of a quality within you that you think is like really good? Something that you work on, like you think it's like if you think this is something that people should see in me if they were to describe me, and they should value it, like a quality, like a character trait or something.
letting people be themselves. Like, I have a lot of space and patience for letting people be themselves.
So if you were in a relationship, right,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say David is being funny, right, or making people laugh, giving people joy. If you're in a relationship, so David, your question: if you're in a relationship, and after a while you find out that you really like the girl, you're cool,
She got
but
to
you
be back
find
in that.
sure, but you find out that she actually doesn't think you're funny. Like, she laughed because she knows what it does for you.
Oh.
Like, she could tell that it makes you happy to make other people happy, so she laughed for that reason. And it's not that she's lying; she genuinely wants to see you happy, so she's laughing, right? But she doesn't think you're funny. Like, if she were to say what funny is, she wouldn't say you. That's yours. Yeah.
I will stew on it.
And then Stacey, if you're in a relationship with a dude, and then, like, again, everything's great, you guys are cool, but he doesn't necessarily value the whole letting people be themselves thing the way you think you are good at it, if that makes sense. Like, he probably thinks that you're not as good as you think you are. How do you think you guys will navigate that type of scenario where a trait or quality, and this is the question to everyone, where a trait or quality that you see in yourself that you think is valuable or nice or you think you're good at, the person you're with just doesn't?
I would have a conversation with
She'd
them.
end the relationship and
I
have an
would-
exit interview.
Survey sent to your email. Get back to me within 3 to 5 business days.
The thing
My
is,
people talk to your people.
guys, the thing is, yeah, if someone doesn't want to continue a conversation, this is what's confusing with me. Like, you can end the call. I'm always happy. I don't always give people an exit from the exit. Like, I'm like, if you don't have to have this conversation, let me know when it's getting overwhelming, or if I say anything that you don't like. So they want it. Anyway.
Sure.
I asked for consent before.
That's good. Always ask for consent.
No, what was it called? So, how would I handle that situation, that scenario?
They don't think you're as good at letting people be themselves as you do.
How would it even come up? I would be like, I would probably have a conversation about it. I'll be like, okay, so this is what I think I'm good at. What do you see? Like, how good do you think I am at it? Or what do you see that I'm doing that looks like I'm good at it as well?
Yeah.
And I would love to get feedback. If you tell me that I'm not that good at it, I'd be like, okay, what do you think I can do in terms, because this is something that I generally want to continue to work on, because I do work on it myself. And what do you think I can do? So I'll just speak to them about it, because I understand as well, like, the way, like, our previous conversations and one other pod, like, I can think I'm doing something really well, but it's not coming across that way. And I understand as well, like, I have a tolerance level that fluctuates. It really fluctuates. I can be so tolerant, and then catch me at the wrong time. I will excuse myself from everything. I'm like, I just don't have the capacity for this, but thank you very much. But yeah, I have a conversation.
So if everyone else says, oh no, Stacey's really good at that, but then, like, your boyfriend, or let's say, okay, let's make this real, your fiance, was like,
that seems
nah,
wild.
she ain't as good
It
as
would
you guys
never
think
get to
she is.
fiance.
Let it get that far?
They would never. And
No,
you
but
think-
I think I'm asking it in this way to, like, it's almost like a blind side. Like, it's like, well, I didn't see this coming.
So, what I would really be like, so
Like, what is it that
describe
you're
me.
seeing? Like,
Describe. No, but this
let's
is
be
something.
real. If they're your fiance, they've probably seen you to a better degree than most people.
Yeah.
Not for a longer duration, but
Yeah.
the quality is better.
Legit, which is why I'm asking, what are you
Yeah.
seeing? Like, I'm gonna be like, so what do you see me? Like, what? Describe me to me, please. Like,
It'll completely destroy her world.
you know. But
What
even,
is going on?
Even before I speak to someone, or
Yeah.
like I get a little bit. No, I don't even get serious. Even if someone tells me you like me, I'm like, so why do you like me, and what makes me different? From
How does
Opening
that
and closing
How does that
survey.
go? How does
it
that
goes
go,
really well.
Do you know what's funny about it? I see so many conversations, and I hear conversations with guys where they're like, they don't like being asked that question. But it seems like you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Stacey?
I like I like knowing things.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I like knowing things, and I like actually understanding if you see me for what I see myself for as well.
Yeah.
So I always, because I asked that question, I'm like, so why do you like me, and what makes me different? Like, for you to like me, like, why do you think we're compatible as well?
I think most guys will
And
lie.
there's a right answer to that question.
There's definitely a right answer. That's why most guys will lie.
But the thing is, yeah, I don't want the airy, like, I don't want the nice
Okay,
answers.
let me give you a truth, yeah?
Okay.
Let me give you a truth. I want to see how this plays out.
Okay.
Because I'm almost going to say it's verbatim from a video I watched, right?
Oh dear.
This isn't to say that a person is not interested in you.
Yeah.
They don't find you attractive. And this isn't to say that, yeah, it just isn't to say those things. Like you, in this case, you would have to assume that the person's interested in you and they find you attractive. But what they're saying still stands,
Okay.
right? So it's not an insult. It's probably going to sound like one. But okay. So if you go like, so what is it that you like, or why do you like him and all that stuff? And the guy goes, well, to be honest, at this point in my life, you're as good as it gets.
Yeah.
David is shocked.
Yeah. And what am I supposed to say?
How would you take? How do you think you take that? Because obviously you will never know until you're in the scenario. But how do you think you take that?
I would ask you to go on. Say
I'll
more.
push the get out.
No, I'd be like,
Colleagues.
say more.
Oh, expand. I thought you
Yeah.
were saying, go on.
No.
On your bike.
No, I'd ask you to continue, please.
Go
I
on,
want to
get
know
out.
more as to like what that means to you, because maybe I'm reading it differently to how you want
That
me
you
to.
are the most attractive woman that I could have found at the time. So I spoke to you. The way my life is right now, I feel at the most confidence to talk to a woman. So I spoke to you because assuming that the guy would have moved to you because you're never going to move to a guy ever, right? Stacey moved to someone in the past week.
No, I meant that as in like I didn't answer that because that's true.
But yeah, so the guy's at the most confidence, so that's why he spoke to you. He's got a decent job right now, so he feels like he can be in a relationship because he has an expectation to provide or what have you. Basically, when he says that you're as good as it gets right now, it's like things aligned for this scenario. But who knows? If it was a different scenario, I might not be with you. So the reason why I'm with you is because things happen to align the way they did.
And that's fair. I'd be like, that says more about you than it does about me.
And then they break up.
And then we break up. That says, I literally asked you a question about me, and you said, well, where I am in life, you fit. What I'm doing, you fit.
Yeah.
What I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you need a therapist.
Damn. No, I hear that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's
Yeah.
It's good
good
stuff.
to know.
Yeah, he didn't comprehend my question. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I went on the assumption that you're asking, like, why are you with me, basically.
Oh, no, what's... I want
Okay,
like a...
cool.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
cool. I ain't got that, yeah.
What about you, David?
So David, someone, your girl, your fiance, she don't find you funny. She's now told you she don't find you funny, and she only laughs because she knows what it does for you.
It's a tough one because there's layers to it. On the one hand, I have an insecurity where I don't really think I'm funny anyway.
Yeah, he makes comedy.
All right, you know,
Nuance.
there's that. And then there's on the other hand where it's like comedy, as much as there's a science to comedy, there's some things that people find funny, some things other people don't find funny. So there's that. And then on the other hand, is imagine I'm with my people, I'm doing up jokes, everyone's laughing. I turn to her, she's screwing me.
No,
And
but
it's
in
just
that
bad
scenario,
vibes.
she probably she wouldn't screw
She's
you.
trying.
because
Okay.
She knows
Well,
what it does for you.
But then again, it's like the knowledge that no, you ain't laughing. You ain't really laughing, is you? You pulling this on. This is an act.
That'll play.
I've
It'll plague
caught
in
you.
your mind.
It'll be playing in my mind, and I just yeah. So it's a tough one. It's hard to be in. It's obviously like we haven't factored in like how big's her bum and like, do you know what I mean? Important
A
things.
woman is only her assets, right, David?
He said
That was a joke, but now you said it like it was a fact, and now I feel bad. But no, honestly, I feel like what I'd probably try and do, like if it's like fiance, then obviously man loves this guy. You know, I'm soft. Like when I love someone, like you know what I mean, man ain't going nowhere because you got me, bro.
You think you firm it?
I would have to like try and basically, because I, as much as I'm like a comedy guy, ultimately I'm an entertainer. And that means I have the ability to tap into different languages of entertainment. So I have to find what her language of comedy is and basically try and speak that. And I think it's just it's an adjustment.
Oh, so you make the effort to.
Yeah, you gotta try and find.
And if that
You gotta-
doesn't work, we're gonna keep trying.
If it doesn't work, then we'll just live in a very sad household.
Do you think there's ever gonna be a scenario where you go, alright man, she just don't find me funny? I guess it is what it is.
I mean, I guess at that point you'd have to.
Yeah.
It burned, but that's why you get a side chick or something.
Idiot.
Okay. Because that's,
Not for like beating, just to make them laugh.
because I think you'd be surprised. Like,
Emotional cheating, it's fine because people don't talk about it.
I'm gonna cover his mic. I'm really gonna cover his mic. Sweet Jesus. Feel you
Load
saying?
it.
I don't think I want to.
Okay, fair enough.
No, like that's the thing. Like, so for people who think they're funny, right, and if they get into a relationship with someone, sometimes in the scenario, the girl might want to laugh just because she knows that you need it. And that's like, it's a line in like one of my favorite films, That Awkward Moment. It's like, oh, tell me the things you love about her. I love the way she laughs. I love the way she laughs because she knows that I need it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's a thing. Like, and you see it in Big Bang Theory with Howard and Bernadette. Like, she doesn't really find him funny like that. She laughs because she knows what he does for him. And then I think eventually he began to see that as endearing in a way that's like, I like that she's doing that for me because I do want to feel funny. Stacey, just as a reverse for that, not necessarily to David, do you think you would ever laugh because you know someone needs it?
Yeah.
And how long would you let that go on before you tell them?
Oh my god. I would never tell them.
This is like a psychoanalysis right now.
This is long.
I would never tell them.
You would never tell them, not voluntarily, or
Not voluntarily.
okay.
Don't ask me.
So he just basically okay. So don't ask if you. Jeez, have you ever asked Stacey if she?
The
thinks
thing
we're funny?
is, like, I know for
You
a
know,
fact she's
you know,
done that for
you know,
us.
you
I
know,
know for a
you know,
fact.
you know.
Oh no,
you know,
yeah.
You know.
100%.
Okay.
There's some things we've said, and it's like I know Stacey don't know what we're talking about, and she's laughing. I was like, she's doing that for us. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're never in a relationship. You do that in a relationship, but you're just like, don't ask me.
No, I'll do that in a relationship.
No,
I'll
she talks about
chuckle.
everything. There's a
Yeah.
survey.
Yeah. That's
I will chuckle. I will definitely chuckle for them. Like,
Stacey would be like, so when you said the chicken crusted roll, what do you think that says about your inner child?
Oh gosh, not the inner child.
nah, do you know what though? It don't come off like that. Like, it's very smooth. Like, we flow into these conversations and we just have really deep conversations. I have really great conversations with people in general. So I try to also have great conversations with anyone that I'm in relations with. I told Phil about this one question I asked someone, and
I ran out the car when she said it.
I was like, okay, so cool. Thanks for that. But it was like a simple question. I was literally like, what made you smile today? And yeah, I was like, cool, thanks.
Wait, you are someone. What made you smile?
What made
today?
you smile today? Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, I just really wanted to know, like, I wanted to get like an in-depth knowledge, just like how your day went, like what made you happy, like what are one of the things in your day-to-day life that actually makes you like just smile, or what are the people around you like just make you smile. And yeah, he was like, you.
The fact that would be my default response. Let's get into
it, yeah.
What is wrong with that?
Like, why did you
Stacey?
say that to David of all people?
Because genuinely, like, it doesn't feel.
It wasn't me, right? It was someone.
No.
Like the minute you said that, I was like,
Did we have this
your eyes.
conversation?
Like,
David said his answer when you asked it.
So yeah, so you were
The
saying,
thing is, I followed up to say you don't have to say that, and I would love like and more.
But what if that's
in
true?
depth. No, it is true, but also I wanted like something that would tell me about you, like your day-to-day life. Like I wanted to know, like what literally like what are you grateful for day to day that puts a smile on your face? And it doesn't even if you didn't have one, I'd like that to be a genuine answer as well. Like I don't think I smiled today, or maybe I smiled in this one moment, but it's cause, and you can recollect your day, and I'll be like, okay, so that's what happened in your day as well. Just something that gives me like good incentive to like get to know you more and also continue the conversation. But when you say me, I just feel like you don't want. Okay.
One of my favorite things is when it comes to love.
David's favorite things. It's a segment.
I love that. But honestly, it's when people just thoroughly enjoy each other. Just you, just like, I'm just into you. Because even as you're saying that, like, if someone asked me, when do you smile today? On a typical day, I probably didn't really smile, dealing with some things or whatever. But when with someone that I love, it's like, no, you legitimately made me smile today. Like, everything was dark clouds, and the minute you came in, there was just joy inside. And like, that's legitimately how I feel like a lot
David's
of
a
the time.
romantic, if you couldn't tell.
Bro.
So if that was the actual answer, like, would you rather him say not you?
No, I wouldn't rather you say not me, but go for like, okay, what did it? So
then you want him to go into detail
I'm
about
not-
why he was sad until you came in the room.
yeah, like if
Fair.
so, let's say
It's a sad
I
conversation.
wasn't in
Steve.
your life.
Trust me.
like,
Yeah.
but then also it's just I just want to actually get to know you, and if it's sad to get to know who you are, then
No, but that's a part of it, right?
yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's sad. Like, and if you don't want to talk about what didn't, you can also tell me you don't. I'd rather know that because that will tell me more about.
So do you think the answer is quite not invasive, evasive? Like you're trying to dodge something.
Yeah, it sounds. Oh, it sounds like
Right.
you're trying to let me also like you're saying something that you think I want to hear, and I'm like,
Most women do want to hear that, you know.
I don't want to hear that.
I know you don't. You're very particular, Stacey.
A very particular taste.
You're very particular. Any particular
Any
Stacey?
particular answer.
Any particular Stacey?
You guys are jarring. But no, like, yeah. So I was just like, cool. I think these little things also inform me as to like just how your mind works in terms of like conversation too. Because I've had I speak to my male friends for time on the phone as well. Like we can have conversations from like just little questions, and I love talking to someone. I love getting like an insight onto like who you are. Like I said, I want to accept you fully for who you are, and I want you to feel like you can be who you are, like without any judgment around me. And for me to be able to show you that, I want to also like have a safe space for you to share that. And I feel like if we don't share that, then we're always going to be like capped at a certain point in a relationship, friendship, whatever. We're going to be capped at a certain point, and
I understand the logic.
I don't want that.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I understand the logic. It's just that the answer could be very simple and true.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, if you're, it's quite cynical. I understand it, but it's quite cynical. I'm not saying that in a condemning way, but yeah, the answer could be very simple and true, but you probably wouldn't want that in that moment.
Yeah. Do you know what? Even the simple and true answer, I'll be like, I took the answer for what it was as well. I was like, okay, cool. It's just that the follow-up conversation just still was giving simple. And
Some people are simple.
I know.
I don't think you could not date. I don't think like you have to date a conversationalist, don't you? Like, if someone's not really a conversationalist,
Yeah.
do you think it would work out?
No.
So I read. Okay, so there's a book I had to read. Not had to. I wanted to. Things I wish I knew before I got married. And in the book, he was talking about some of the differences that you'd find commonly, not all, commonly between men and women when it comes to simple things like how was your day. So a guy could look at his whole day, weigh up everything that happened, and say fine, and then that would be the actual answer. Whereas typically a woman may go into the details and stuff, and that's what happened in my marriage actually. I could easily look at my whole day and say fine, and it's not that I'm trying to avoid anything. That's my genuine evaluation of my day. Like if you wanted something specific, ask something specific, right? That's something that you'd find quite typically between in terms of a difference between men and women. It does sound like, however, in this circumstance, you would find it a bit difficult to be with someone who don't really. It's like simple answers or simple conversation. Just it's not stimulating for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
makes
feel
sense.
very like dismissed.
Oh wow,
Man.
no one's trying to do that, boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
I'd feel very dismissed if you gave me simple answers. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, 2 interesting facts here. Just going back to the Insecure episode. So when you were like you love the visuals of it. What's interesting is that the director of photography from earlier seasons, Ava Bukowski, she actually directed this episode, or episode 3. That's 1, and then 2. You know, Condola. I'm sure you guys did not care about that directed episode things. I just thought it was interesting.
No,
that
I loved it as well.
There was visual
I loved it as well.
storytelling throughout the
I
whole
really
thing.
liked the DOP.
So when a
She's
DOP
so
directs
good.
is different. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, the actor who plays Condola couldn't talk to Jay Ellis, who plays Lawrence, for like 2 weeks after filming. I found that fascinating because they went there. Like they went. I mean, she was pregnant in real life, so I don't know whether her situation was quite real and she was like using stuff from real life. But whatever it is, she went there, and it's like I can just imagine. Like, let's say for example, you guys had a scene or an episode like that, and you're cool with Stacey, but Stacey went there in her head so much that she doesn't even want to look at you. It's like, oh damn, I gotta just give her the space. Have you guys ever gone there, like as actors, to the point where it's like you need something to bring you out? Like, you know, sorry, real quick, you know, like Michael B. Jordan for Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
He said he went there.
Yeah,
he had to have a
go
lightning
there.
rod to pull him out because it was, as a therapist, it was too much. Like sometimes you really go there in order to give some of the best performances, and the performance was amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say it's very interesting you say that because I was deep in it. Like I haven't done enough frictional relationships on screen yet. I haven't done like my proper argument. I haven't done the, you know, I haven't done it yet. Like I did. I was in my boy's music video. Everybody go.
Were you on
watch
top of a car? Did
Pray
you change in your car?
Call back. I get the joke.
Yeah.
I get the reference.
Previous episode, watch
I get the
it.
reference.
Yeah.
No, this is a
We're
music
making fun
video.
of Stacey.
This is a music video of an actual script
And a plan.
and a plan.
And a respect for the
And
talent.
then, yeah, you know, all the basic things you'd
Honesty.
hope a music video has. So no, it was such a great experience. Shout out Prey, he's an amazing artist. The Reason is the song, but follow Prey on Spotify. But this song, Reason, so it was basically my role in it. I was, you know, the romantic, then, you know, with my lady and everything. We was having some friction because she just suspected I was cheating, and it was one of those, you know, you can imagine the argument. Who is she? I'm telling you, I'm not cheating on you. And like that experience was fun, but because it was like a music video, it was like a day shoot and just like really last minute and everything, I didn't have time to really go there. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes when you're acting, it just becomes a shouting contest and whatnot. But to like actually get to the point where you're like the person in front of you, like, no, like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is peak.
Yeah.
I still want to go there. So guys, we got work to do.
No.
How about you,
100,
Stacey?
100. I've done that before. It was in an acting class when I was younger.
Oh damn. Oh
Literally,
no.
it was the first time
no.
I ever cried.
Nah,
like,
school.
It was the first time like I ever cried on camera, and it was. I don't know what the scene was. I think the scene was about a guy leaving me. Mind you, I was probably like 14, 15 doing this.
Damn.
No, I think I was even younger because I was in high school, not college. But I think I must have been like, let's say 13 then, 13, 14. Oh, okay, maybe 15. But yeah, actually, it's still in high
The
school.
numbers didn't add up. I
Yeah,
feel.
I'm
We
still
got
in
there,
high
we
school.
got
actually.
there. You were young.
Yes,
You
I
were
was
young.
very young, and I was being like coached in doing monologues, and my teacher was basically speaking to me about the scene that I did, and he was like, okay, but I need more, like, and I was like, I don't know what more to give you. And then he must have asked me like, so you're telling me there's never been a time where someone has like disappointed you and hurt you, or you've been heartbroken, not even heartbroken, just like hurt by someone's actions towards you in a relationship. And I went straight to like a friend that I had, a female friend that I had, and we recently stopped being friends, and we were really close friends, and I loved her, and we had and the reason we stopped as well, there was no answers, no rhyme reason, we just left each other. But it was a whole thing, and I just remember starting the scene, like I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. And in my mind, I didn't think I was still gonna do it. And then I started like reading it out, and then what he said must have just rung in my head again. And then I was like, it made me remember her. And then I was just like crying, and I was like heaving, and I was like, and I can't even read the script right now, and I'm just like, I'm just so sad, and I'm heartbroken. I remember looking at him, and well, not looking after, I was like, are you happy? Oh, are you happy? Like, I broke down. Are you happy? And he was like,
I knew it. It's like,
literally that audition with Tosin. You know what you did? What's it called? The
shout out to
Oh
Stacey.
yeah, the screaming one.
yeah, like when they break you down,
They
that's
love
when
the
they
emotional
love it.
manipulation. It's
Literally.
great. It's
And
great.
then when I left, I literally was like, I had to take some time just to like get out of the environment I was in, went to take a walk outside. There was a little walking space to walk up and down, and I just took some deep breaths, and I was like, I can't believe I did that. Because it's also so vulnerable to not control yourself, like to let your emotions flow. It was such a vulnerable moment, and I wasn't prepared to be so vulnerable as well. Like, so when that happened, I had to take some time to like gather myself and gather my thoughts. And I was like, Stacey, just always prepare to be vulnerable. From that moment, I said, always prepare to be vulnerable, because you don't always have time, because there's going to be another scene and there's going to be other things you have to do afterwards. So just prepare to like let loose.
Did you feel that when you did the water as well, or something similar?
When I did the water, it was, do you know what? I kept on going to a place that I felt more tired. Like I think there was 2 or 3 takes that I went to like, it was I think because I was more prepared for that vulnerability, I wasn't as chaotic in my like emotions. Like when I let it loose, I was like, okay, because we're gonna have to do another take. It was like we're gonna have to do another take. So it was like, okay, you can let go, but also remember that there's another take that has to be done afterwards, and you know you're gonna have to clean yourself up, you're gonna have to pat yourself back together, do your makeup. But in the water, I think I was more controlled in my mind in terms of like understanding when to break down, because also whilst you're acting, like it's weird because those vulnerable moments are beautiful, but you can't always replicate them. So
you can't,
I have to be cautious as to the part where I'm breaking down, because there could be really important words I'm supposed to say for the audience to hear, and I'm out here like blubbering, and no one can hear me, and then it's like another take, like we do another one. So I try to be more intentional as to like my emotional breakdown or outburst.
So when you guys like go there, right? Let's say it like that. When you guys go there, like, you know when Nia Long slapped Taye Diggs.
Oh gosh, yeah.
the best man. When you guys like go there, do you care about your co-stars, or do you feel like I need to get this out? I don't think there's a right answer to this, by the way. It does sound like kind of harsh, but I think in film it's quite weird. Like, for example, you kind of spoke about emotional manipulation, but that's kind of what directors have to do, which is something I'm finding quite perplexing at the moment morally. But when you guys go there, do you have a sense of care for your other actors, or do you feel like I need to get this performance out?
The snap second,
will you slap
I don't know.
Joking.
I would never put hands on anyone, like not without their consent.
You're doing it wrong.
Like if you let me know I can, I will, and I'll apologize afterwards straight away. But there's literally that moment where I don't care about them. There's the build up to it, and I care about what you have to say. But when it's the time where I know I'm supposed to like emotionally break down, there's a part of me that's like, I want to be authentic, and I'm so involved in what I'm feeling that I can't see you properly. Like I can't see you to care for you in the way that you deserve in this moment. David,
that's a good answer.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I feel like for me, I can't think of a scene where I've had to like really, would take me to the place where really giving in could put someone else at risk like that. But I feel like I do always have a mindfulness of my scene partner. From what I can remember, what I've done, there is always a mindfulness of my scene partner. But as I say, I haven't had that scene where it's like, you know, imagine it's like a physical scene with someone that's like a brother that I'm really trying to, dap you up, you know what I mean? I haven't had that properly yet. So I don't know, but I'd like to think that I will always have that mindfulness of, you know, what's going on outside of the performance. I try and keep that.
Until a director goes, let it go.
Say, stop doing that. We see you holding back. It's like, but I don't always. I mean, it depends on the director, the production, and what you're trying to do. But I would always agree that having a mindfulness of outside of the performance is holding back per se. But it's a weird one. It's a weird one because I feel like obviously using Meisner technique, you focus on your scene partner to stay in the scene, and it just becomes you and the scene partner. But like the point of Meisner technique is never that like you fully believe that what's going on is what's going on right now. It's just a matter of having enough concentration to get the truth of what's going on right now out.
Do you think that
it's
limits?
a mind there. Oh,
you know.
Do you think that limits a bit?
I don't, because based on, you know, if it does limit, then what we're saying is everything I've done so far has been trash.
Not necessarily trash, it's just limited.
Just limited, I hear that. And to be fair, I still don't feel like I've hit where I want to be as an actor yet anyway, but I don't necessarily think it limits now. I don't think it does. But maybe when I do have that moment where I feel to give in and I give in, I have a different thought on it.
Okay. Because I mean, okay, in an emotionally dangerous way, I understand it. But wouldn't you say that you do that sometimes when you riff, when you're doing comedic scenes? Like you've kind of taken away your restraint there, and you're just like, alright, let's get these jokes out, type of thing.
It's an interesting because.
Just tell me everything.
It's an interesting one because it's like comedy is almost safer. Like you can like, and you're even advised to break out the bounds when it comes to comedy. It's like the chains that was on you, break them and let the comedy fly. But if it's like imagine an intimate scene now where it's like, this is your lady, you're doing the business. You can't. I don't think it's ever okay to just let go there. You know, you have to rein it in. You have to know what's going on there. And the same with like, because I remember when I was doing like stunt fighting or whatever in acting classes, right? And the teacher was like basically getting at Joaquin Phoenix, because when he did Joker, like he basically let go to the point where he'd like, because obviously you know that they rehearse every fight scene, right? But Joaquin Phoenix, apparently he'd like just forget the rehearsals and do things the stunt people aren't expecting and actually hurt them. Yeah. And like the way she was talking about that, and I was like, I don't think that's it. I don't think there's ever need for that, you know, because it's rehearsed for the purpose for it to look real. Yeah. You don't have to now go and add your own reality to it to now.
So you're okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're talking about an optimal performance. Like what would it take to get to but like, by the way, I'm not saying I have a stance here. I'm just interested in where the conversation's going. But like something like Django, where Leonardo DiCaprio bangs the table, cuts his hand, there's blood on his hand, and he still touches Kerry Washington's face and grabs her up in the scene. That there, is extremely unhygienic, very dangerous, because it still could be cuts on your hand, and it's just unsafe. And it's like, but it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm sorry. Gosh. There's no scenario where I say, hey, today when you go on set, cut your hand on purpose and smear it across someone's face and grab them, and then she better continue act. There's no scenario where I will ever say that going through. But me watching that, I'm like, bloody hell. Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah. So optimal performance, who knows? Because, you know, doing something twice for the first time it's impossible, for one. And then two, kind of like what Stacey said, you can't do that every single time, that type of performance. But in terms of the things that we see and we're like, damn, that was amazing. Sometimes it's just, they come from people just going there and almost voiding people's safety and hygiene and everything. And it's an interesting thing, especially probably coming from actors, because it's like, well, how do you toe that line? Where do you go, all right, let me just go for this because I know what this could be, or you just don't think about what it could be, you just go for it because it's like, all right, I'm going for it. Yeah. And it's like, well, everyone has to just go along with this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, imagine Kerry Washington stops and just wait, hey, there's hey, is this blood?
I would have just screamed. I should be like, just like.
It would have worked for the scene though.
To be honest.
But I think she did.
She did her lip quiver thing. Like, but yeah, she went along with it. Or like when Tay got slapped, he went along with it. Or everything.
He was pissed though.
Yeah, he was pissed. He was fuming. But that's the thing. Do you feel like? Do you feel like you could say to an actor, be pissed afterwards? Like if I do this, if I go there and I do something, I get it, be pissed, but be pissed afterwards.
No, I think that's too premeditated. I feel like you're trying to do something.
Okay, not like say it to them, but more like this is the mentality you have towards them. Like I get you, I might do something that's like make you angry, or I get it, but like be angry afterwards. The scene is important.
I feel like I need to do that scene and then I'll know, because like right now
it sounds like there's nothing that's really gonna take you there.
Yeah. But I, to be honest, I'm curious to explore it because I do want to go deeper. You know.
Yeah.
What about you, Stacey?
I can't say that to someone. I can't say. To be fair, even maybe the pissness would even add to the. I'm like, feel it. I'm sorry, I won't. I would literally try to be as considerate as possible. And I think sometimes as an actress, it depends what scene it is. Because if it's like, one where there's like kissing and like sexual, intimacy.
Oh no! If anyone says go there, you'd be like, no, that's
like,
porn,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Porn.
We made porn.
Like,
Yeah.
like I would, and even I don't want to physically harm anyone. Like, you still need your face for the scenes afterwards, and if it's me talking about,
Damn, Stacey,
Your
I wrote a
character?
role for you, and it's like I want you to go. I'm joking.
I
But no,
don't know,
it's
I
a thought
can't.
though. It's a thought though, because
Yeah.
I do feel like you have that in you, not necessarily to just go there, but as in you have it in you to play that role so well, and for it to just come out and almost void other people's safety. That as a director, I would want to push you towards that. But then hearing you say this is like, nah, I'll probably just leave it.
I've
I
been
say do it, fam. Do it, man.
I've
just
been
leave it.
unhinged in like certain scenarios. I think that's actually what makes me who I am now. So I'm more self-aware because I also understand the other side of a reckless, loose Stacey. Like, if I'm out on the loose, like, I understand the damages of that. So I want to be in control of myself and make sure that I never afflict that on someone.
Yeah, I mean this is the thing. Like anyone who's not an actor, or anyone who's not like working in film to this degree, they probably wouldn't understand this and be like, how could you do that to someone? Or like they'll probably put a very, very focused moral compass on this. But it's like, again, directors emotionally manipulate people, and that's how we get some of the best performances. You take that out of the context of film, it's a bad thing to do. You put it in the context of film, it's not that simple. Like, to some degree, actors would want a director to do that. It's like, get this out of me. Like,
A lot of actors.
Do you know what I
How
mean?
does that make you feel? You said you were like,
yeah, so like, okay, I've reached a point in my life, where I don't add morality to anything that isn't faith. If faith isn't involved in the conversation, I'm not adding morality to it. Because the reality is, people gonna do what they want. Like, even if you just look at it on a simple level, right? Killing someone, most people will say that's bad, but in some contexts, it would be congratulated or, in anything, encouraged. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see America kill Bin Laden, everyone praises them. Someone dies in America, tragedy. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's always going to be on that subjective level. There's no level of like either rules or something or logic that we can go back to and be like, no, this is bad in all contexts. So if it's not faith, I don't bother adding morality to it. In fact, I'm just like, they're going to do what they're going to do, if that makes sense. Because I've begun to see the world as very primal, because it seems to be looking that way to me nowadays. Like, people are going to do what they're going to do. There's winners and there's losers. That's just simply the way it is. When we add morality to things, it's like, well, who's to say that your morality is my morality? Do you get what I'm saying? If I go and tell someone what they're doing is wrong, they can just turn around and tell me, well, who are you to say what's right and what's wrong? But when it comes to something like faith, we could easily go, all right, whatever, regardless of what we think is right or wrong, there is evidence, not evidence, but like there's words here, or there's a Bible here, or whatever that can say that this is right or this is wrong. So if faith isn't involved, I'm just like, I'm not going to put morality on it. But for me, that's the way I'm observing everyone else, by the way. But for me and my journey, I'm like, I'm still navigating that, because I want to be I want to be a nice person. I want to be kind to people. I want to help people. But the idea of emotionally manipulating someone in order for them to get something out of them is difficult for me. I find that very difficult on HSJ. There's so many times, because the thing is, I've said it before, I've gone through a God complex. Like, I've been wanting to like, not necessarily control people, but control perceptions, control the way things go, mad control issues, right? There are so many times on the set of HSJ, there were so many times on the set of HSJ where I'm like, I know what I could do here. But if I do this, it could be dangerous for the friendship, for me, because if I enjoy it, what does that say about me now? Like, do you know what I mean? I probably haven't grown as much as I thought I had. But like, there were so many things. It was like, there were so many reasons for me not to do it. But take away my morality or my moral compass here, and the fact that most people want to say, Christians, take that all away, probably might do it. I probably might. I don't know, but yeah, like, I hope that makes sense. Like, I've observed everyone else. If you're not part of the faith, or you don't adhere to the faith, I'm like, whatever, because your morality is different from her morality, and her morality is different from his morality. But then when it comes to me, I'm like, I'm still navigating how I want that to look practically in my life. Because, like I said, directors almost have to emotionally manipulate people. And I feel like I did it to a degree, but I didn't do it the way I feel like I could have. For example, let's say, I don't know if you remember, there were times where I'm like, there's a level above.
Yeah.
That's all I felt like I could say. Because everything I wanted to say, I'm like, nah, I can't say that. I can't.
Do you think it makes? Do you feel dishonest in those moments?
No, because I don't see myself as. I don't see anyone, but let alone myself. But I don't see myself as rigid. I feel like we're all dynamic. So if I do something that contradicts what I do or think, that's just the reality of what it means to be human anyway. So I will never see that as like not being authentic or not being myself. If I contradict myself, it's because I'm being myself. Do you know what I mean? It is within me to be contradictory.
Sounds very peaceful.
literally.
But it can also sound nihilistic, but
Oh gosh.
I don't feel like I'm lying to myself. I just look at the possibility and think. I just imagine what it would have been like if I voided all my morality or what I wanted outside of film. If I voided all of that, what would that have looked like? It might have come with a better performance, but I might be friendless.
I would love to see the
You'll
tactic
never
because
be
you
friendless
think
from me, Phil. Sorry, Stacey, you can go on.
that's beautiful.
I just need to let them know.
That's
And Stacey, same
beautiful.
to you. We'll never be friendless until you go to Ghana and leave us.
And then I don't have you anymore.
No, I'm joking. I'm moving as well. But anyways, as you were saying,
Listen, I'm just saying, if you go there, you see us like waiting, like
Fam?
don't be surprised.
just doing this at the airport.
Can we get a taxi?
Let's go to Ghana.
Guys, you're invited. Come. I mean,
That
Phil's
makes
having a
sense.
son.
I'll bring him, but probably can't travel for like a year. So
Oh, true.
I mean, I could travel.
Not Lawrence.
I'm doing up Lawrence.
Oh gosh. Oh damn.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I was wanted to know, like, because I would love to see you just go there. Like, I would love to see what that looks like, and I would love to see the way it looks like to you as well. Because do you feel like if you went there, it has to be like the choice between there and your friends, or
Yeah. I see it as that binary because you could have a situation where the film is encouraged and so is your friend through your choice. But the reality is, when you make a choice like that, you are prioritizing one over the other because you're either going, I want the film to be optimal or I want my friendship to be optimal. If you try to do both, you're not going to reach optimal status in either of them. So in that moment, I'm just like, yeah. If we end up not being friends because of this, or if I end up doing something that's too invasive or too much, then I probably have to take that L because I wanted to make a film. But that's not a step I was willing to take in that moment.
yeah, that's, you know, I'm asking because that's really interesting, because I think in business, like, I've been learning a lot about how to do business kindly and how to succeed even through kindness, because I know a lot of the times as well, back in the day, it's been encouraged to have competition and to like see your co-worker as an opponent, like, and
Probably more so encouraged in women than it is men.
yeah, and it's just not great for people's like mental health and their well-being. And so I just wanted to put that in like the terms of like the directing thing.
Yeah.
Is there a kind way to do it and still get to the result?
I don't think so. The thing is, you'll get a result. So this is what I was talking about with David. Is like, are we talking about optimal or like a performance that's like, do you know what I mean? You will get a result. I feel like the result we got with HSJ is good. Like, I think it's very good. Sometimes I watch, I'm like, damn, we did that. But I know it could have been way better if I avoided my morality. I just know. Because I think it's just what I know as a filmmaker. And then even the examples that we stated before, it's like, when you really, really go there, that's when people are just like, damn. Do you see what I'm saying? For example, Marriage Story. I didn't rate it, but you saw the accolades. And you can see that they actually really, really went there. Man was punching walls and everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wish you would die. I wish you would die. I'm sorry. Big up Adam Driver.
Hey,
But what was I saying?
you see the accolades when people really go there.
Yeah. Like, you will get a result. I think we kind of have this conversation. Was it on the set of HSJ? Or was it?
It was before.
Before.
The day.
We had this conversation between myself, David, Toby, Iolu, and we decided that it was going for time. We decided to have it in the car on the way. Toby and I kept talking. David fell asleep in the car. But he almost couldn't understand the fact that like you couldn't do both. And it's like, you could do both. Yeah. you could probably do both and say this was good. But the fact is, if you don't prioritize one over the other, one of them has opportunity to falter. And when you prioritize one over the other, there's an opportunity for it to be optimal. Like both of those things. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I'm
You
with
sure?
I'm with
Are
you.
you sure?
Yeah, we
Stacey?
with you. Stacey here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, we here.
Okay.
Keep going in.
Okay. So, almost closing. What was that? There's another thing I want to talk about. Just quickly. Yeah. We'll talk about this, and then we'll probably go into the next episode if Stacey hasn't gone on.
Let's get it.
Y'all got me for 2 weeks. Well,
2 weeks.
One actually. Ooh, depends.
Yes, quick.
We're going to talk off air. because that's.
No, facts.
To be honest.
Planning.
So, new school black love stories. We see it. I mean, you can look at some of the circumstances in Insecure as an example as well. How different do you think they are from old school black love stories? I think the first indication is that most old school black love stories were set with a comedic undertone or just comedy, period, like romantic comedies. Do you think there's a massive difference between, let's say, the 90s and now, David? Stacey?
David.
Sure, definitely. I think. I rewatched.
Because this includes TV series as well.
Yeah. I rewatched Brown Sugar the other day. Actually, just randomly. Yeah, actually, it's the most definitely. Just it's cool, but it's not D'Angelo, you know. I rewatched it and yeah, I loved it, but it does seem like we've kind of, I don't know if this is fully fair to say, but it feels like we've improved in the sense that like things seem a lot less, as Stacey might say, airy fairy.
I can't believe you have this worldview. you usually hold the 90s movies on a pedestal and you're like, nothing competes.
Growth. But no, honestly, I feel like I could fully enjoy watching Brown Sugar, but it's like compare it to Lawrence and Issa and Insecure or something, or compare it to Love Life season 2 with Harper Jackson. Absolutely fantastic, everybody watch it. I've been waiting to plug that show like since the minute we started recording. I don't know why it took me so long, but Love Life, here it is. But no, honestly, yeah, the difference is clear to me in the sense that this just seems more real, but I feel like we're allowed to be a lot more real now, you know, because back then, as you know, as much as it was a great thing to see black people on screen, there is still an element of, but only within a certain box.
Yeah.
It felt that way.
The risks are a lot more.
Yeah.
Prevalent.
Yeah. But now it's like that box has been bust open and there's a lot more room to fly. In abundance. Limitless. We could do Kelly all episode, man. But how about you, Stacey?
Do I agree?
Agree with what was the question?
With
with David.
With David. I was literally like, yeah, and then I was like, one of my favorite movies for some reason is Baby Boy, and I was like, that is just toxic in a movie, and I love it. That feels real to me. That felt real. That felt like they weren't trying to do perfect. They were just trying to do what they got in front of them. And I remember the movie ending and I said, I'm rooting for the man that hit you. How did I get there? I was like, how did we get here? But it was the better option than the one that was going to rape you. How did we get here? And I was like, mad. Okay. And what, even as you were speaking, I feel like in terms of the black love movies, I was never particularly like any relationship seemed healthy. Like I was never, I felt it more in the 90s. Like I think I enjoyed the 90s movies more in the early 2000 black movies, black love movies, because I feel like nowadays there's a lot
and TV shows and characters, so like that includes all the relationships you see on Fresh Prince, Martin, Living Single, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just like to
Okay.
caveat and say I didn't mention which one I enjoyed more or less. Just
Oh
caveat
yes,
it,
that's true. He
just to
didn't. He
caveat.
didn't.
anyone
He just said
asked.
better.
I mean, no, but I just want to caveat.
Improved. He actually did. Yeah.
Improved in it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know.
Which is, no, I think that's fair. No, I think that's fair. I think now it's like, it's still in a very controlled way though. Like the way we tell our stories is still in a very specific
Keep going.
way. Yeah. I think it's still in a very specific way, and I see it replicated so much. Like the specificity.
You had it
Specificity.
the second time.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
There we
Yeah. I feel like I see that in a lot of different black movies that I watch now, black love movies now, and I'm not as like inspired or riveted or like, I'm not as torn. This is why I really love Insecure, and I loved what's that movie that we watched over the summer that I love?
Photograph?
No, immature. No, something like that.
Yeah,
Premature.
There we go.
premature, and
There
that's
we go.
why I loved
Is that still on Netflix?
that. No, it's
Oh,
gone.
oh,
It's
I
gone.
mean,
That's
it
all right.
costs, no, it costs money to like leave the stuff on Netflix.
No, yeah, true.
It's,
Licenses
it's an
and
indie
whatnot,
film,
that's a real
so
Yeah. It
capitalism.
was so
Yeah.
good though, guys. If you can watch it, watch it. Premature was so good just because it was like, I don't have to like or hate anyone, and I didn't feel like they were driving me towards a specific like character that was better or less. I just was like, I just watched it and I just loved the dynamic because there was no pretense. It didn't feel like there was any expectation on the characters. It was just like, be real, man. Do you, man. And I felt them do them. I was like, no, this is how I behave as well. No, like, this is it.
So just so I can clarify, David, you feel like there were more restraints back in the day, but now everything feels a bit more free. But then Stacey, you're saying that you still feel like today
There's
it's
restraint,
still
yeah.
a bit more restraint.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one because, you know, like when you have a paradigm, I think it's just interesting where humans work. But when we have something that we consider a box or this is, you only make things within this parameters or whatever, when you break out of that, we'll fall into new parameters anyway. And that's just the way the industry works. That's the way capitalism works. It's like there's an audience for something. When you create one of this thing and it does well, they're going to want to create more of those things. And then you create another box. So the box is different. The way I see it, the box is different from like the 90s and previous films, but it's still a new box. So to an extent, I think I agree with both of you. But yeah, I think it's interesting that, yeah, it's a different type of box. I feel like the black love stories nowadays feel quite artsy-fartsy.
Really love.
Not just really love, but even premature.
I
I
love
can't
really
even.
love.
I can't even remember. Do you guys? Sorry, like I'm putting you on the spot, but do you guys remember what I said about premature back when we watched it?
I can't
remember what I
exactly
said.
but
Exactly.
I just know you liked it. And
Yeah, I'm thinking back at it now. I'm just like, yeah. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's quite arty-farty. You know, just the. I think silence is good in films, but it's just. You hold one shot for a very long time and just silent, and it's just okay. I get you're showing the authenticity of the moment and stuff like that, but
Don't
it
cut
does
away.
feel- yeah, don't
let
cut
them live in it.
Yeah, all that stuff. Sometimes it just feels a bit lazy, just a bit. Just saying.
So we need an extra 5 minutes of this film. Let's just.
I think, no, but that's what I think Premature did because they shot on film, which is expensive, and they was it 2 weeks they took to shoot the whole feature film. So I think I was more interested in the story behind it and everything, and the story behind the whole filmmaking. But I enjoyed the film nonetheless. But I do feel like nowadays everything is a bit artsy fartsy. I feel like people are afraid to tell a story that's quite gimmicky. But the reality is, there are so many stories that are gimmicky. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, boy meets girl, boy likes girl, boy tries to get with girl says, no. And then they continue this back and forth, and then she eventually gives in, and then we say that's sexual assault. Because it's coercion.
Well, that
Or-
swept the rug.
Yeah.
That swept the rug.
Which is the gimmick that it seems like people are trying to get away from. So they try to swerve into another direction, but it's like, well, now you've created another thing. So let's say, for example, if we made a gimmicky film nowadays that's reminiscent of the 90s, that would be seen as very different from the films that are come out today. So it's like there's not necessarily a right answer or anything. It's just, it's interesting that we escape one paradigm and fall into another one because that's what it seems like that's what we're supposed to do. we're supposed to go, oh, we all like this. This is the way we like stories to be told. Let's see more of that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if it's always about shaking the table and changing things the way they were, then we should stop. Eventually, we should stop casting black women. We should stop casting women, and we should eventually go back to casting white men, and then go through that cycle again. Do you get what I'm saying?
I said, God forbid.
Yeah. But we'll probably get into that on another episode.
Yeah.
Guys, please, if you have any thoughts, drop them below. If you hate all of us, my number is not going to be said right now.
That makes sense. You're like, son.
No, thank you guys for listening and for watching now. And
Yeah.
we will see you in the next episode.